Mr. P's Science and Math Podcasts. For more science and math concepts, search me out on iTunes by typing Papapodcasts. You can contact me at mrplieberman@gmail.com. Thank you for watching. Became bigger than 1, the parabola got narrower. It got narrower, and look at where the first point for x was. Here's our first point for x. Look at our first point of x when our value of a got bigger. Okay, it stretched. Okay? It stretched vertically. So far, what have we learned? When the equation is in the form of y is equal to ax squared, the vertex is always at 0, 0, whenever it's in this form. Okay? The vertex, 0, 0. The axis of symmetry is at x is equal to 0. So we can look at the x value of the vertex to find our axis of symmetry. Okay? We can look at the x value. So we take this x value is the axis of symmetry. When the equation is in the form of y is equal to ax squared, we know that they are all congruent to the main equation, y is equal to x squared. So because it is congruent, okay, we know that it will follow the 1, 3, 5 pattern. And that 1, 3, 5 pattern all gets multiplied by whatever the a value is when it's in this format, right here. If the value of a is greater than 1, the parabola would narrow and stretch vertically. And lastly, we have what we call a minimum value, because we can extract that minimum value by taking the y value of the vertex. So if we take this y value here of the vertex, this y value will give us our minimum value. So let's label the following equation, okay, in terms of the information that we found. So here we have the following equation. Okay, and this equation is our original. Y is equal to x squared. Our a value, 1. Because the a value, remember, the a value, okay, gets multiplied by 1, 3, 5. So if we start, remember, where do we start? We start from the vertex. What is the vertex? The vertex is 0, 0. So from 0, we move over to the right 1, up 1. And we get our next point. We move to the right 1. Okay? So we've done the 1. Now we're going to move up 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay? And there's our next point. Now we're going to move to the right 1 and up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there is our point. Okay. Mind you, I've already shown you the graph, but that's what it means. Here is what we mean by 1, 3, 5. Notice how to the right, we're always going 1, 1, 1. Okay? So remember that in terms of x, we are always moving 1 to the right. The a value, okay, or in terms of, let's say, our y, we're looking at 1, 3, 5 multiplied by whatever our a value is. And that y is going to tell us whether we're going up or down. We're focusing only in this lesson going up right now, in this lesson, like I said, this lesson. But we will be looking at when it goes down in the next lesson. Now, in terms of the axis of symmetry, where can we place our mirror on this graph? And we place it right at where the vertex is. Okay? This is the axis of symmetry. Okay? This axis of symmetry also is the x value of the vertex. Here's the x value of the vertex. What is x? x is equal to 0. That is what the axis of symmetry is. The axis of symmetry is x is equal to 0. So when x is equal to 0, that's where the axis of symmetry is for this example, for this specific example. Do we have a maximum or a minimum value? Well, we have a minimum value. Why? Because, well, if we look at this parabola goes on forever. Okay? So when you're graphing your parabola, it's very important that you put arrows to the ends because it means that the parabola goes on forever. And what it means is the reason why we have minimum is because we have an actual minimum value. We have the lowest point of the parabola. Okay? The lowest point of the parabola is what we call the minimum value. And the minimum value can be extracted by taking, oops, not the x value, by taking the y value of the vertex. And the y value of the vertex is 0. So therefore, y is equal to 0 in terms of maximum or minimum value. But we will be focusing more on maximum and minimum value in an upcoming lesson.